everyone. I'm Elena Armijo, and I'm the founder of the C-Suite Collective. This is a company I created for executive leadership coaching and wellness that supports C-suite executives, entrepreneurs, and founders. Now, more than ever, businesses are running faster and with fewer resources. Burnout, overwhelm, disconnection, and disillusionment are the new norm for teams struggling with an old paradigm. At the C-Suite Collective, we believe deeply that providing massive support for your teams through executive coaching and holistic practices will create an inclusive culture, higher levels of performance, sustainable change, and the organizational impact you desire. You can find us at the c-suitecollective.com. Hello, everyone. Welcome to January 2025, wherever you are in the world. This is going to be a solo podcast this month to just welcome in the new year collectively with you and give you some of my thoughts and share some stories from what I've been thinking about as we set up 2025. So much like you, it's January 22nd. I'm sure you all are well on your way into the year and already deeply embedded in work and life integration from the holidays. And I want to share where I'm starting from this year. So the holidays for Aaron and I were really special. We got to go to New Mexico and be with my family this year and spend some time with my grandmother who just turned 96. And I got to say, I'll never forget her squeal of delight when she saw me around the table at Christmas. To say hello to her, and just was able to give her so much love and be with the family while we did our usual traditions in the Armijo family. Being in New Mexico always grounds me. It is my home. I think there's something really special about the land there, not only from Native American communities, but from a real sense of connection to spirit from anybody who ends up in that arena or that area of the world. I hear that from many people in my travels and many people who have been there. And when I was growing up, of course, I tend to take that for granted. But as an adult, going back there feels like a true gift. So it was really special that we got to drive there and take the pups and be with our family and then drive back. I took a solid 2 weeks off of work, which is a privilege. And I'm so grateful that I've created a life where I can have the ability to do that through my work. And I really look at it every year as my grounding force for the following year. Like those 2 weeks are pretty special and sacred to me to have off. And my team and my friends and my colleagues all know that I use it intentionally to just be with myself and listen to whatever spirit has to say to me for the next year, but also just to really take a look at the year that I just walked through and be with the impact, whether it's celebration or heartbreak or sadness or curiosity. There's all kinds of emotions that I go through when I'm looking at the past year towards the end of the year. So I was really excited that I was able to get that for 2 solid weeks before coming back into the year. And then the year started and we had, the tragic event in New Orleans happen. And then we had the event in Las Vegas happen. That was also very sad with a veteran. And then we had the fires in LA. For those of you that don't know, Aaron and I moved to Los Angeles about 3.5 years ago. So we're relatively new to Los Angeles, but learning more and more about it every year we stay. And we were not affected. So I just want to say that off the bat. We're grateful. We're lucky. The area of town that we're in was not impacted other than smoke for a couple of days and ash in our area. But we are fortunate, one of the fortunate ones. I think everybody in Los Angeles knows, has minimal separation to people that were directly impacted in some way, shape, or form. So as a collective, that's been really interesting to just feel the grief in the air and the loss in the air, and also be there for people who need it when they ask, and also not be affected and continue working in the midst of fires that are still going on, actually. That's been a whole new experience to be in the middle of something that feels so impactful, not be impacted and still be called upon to serve other people. To me, that was a real indication of what servant leadership looks like, and also just really curious what my resilience and tolerance level is around me. So we are fine. We, Aaron and I have both done a lot of like, hey, we're not the ones that need support. Here are people who do need support. And it is worth sharing that for those that are not impacted and are still here, there is another experience going on as well, like being a part of it, but on the outside of it, and also trying to generate community in spite of it. So I offer that to you because the year seems to have been a big year already. And then on top of that, in the US, we had the inauguration, turnover on January 20th. And the new administration has entered into the office. And with that has brought a lot of feelings from a lot of different people. And no matter what you believe or who you voted for in America, there is a collective shift happening. I'm not here to say whether it's good or bad. Those of you that know me know I'm a moderate liberal and truly believe in inclusion and belonging and higher level conversations. And I think that includes all of humanity. Nobody gets to be left out of that conversation, no matter who you voted for or what it looks like. So I really am just pouring a lot of love and a lot of heart into my space, my friendships, my clients, the world, to continue to remember that we are all humans and we're all in this together. And the way forward is to think about new ways to be together and honor each other in the process. So that's where I'm starting from this year. I am feeling rested still, even despite everything going on in the world, and excited for what's to come, mainly because I don't know what's coming. And as a coach, that's my work, is to be in the unknown and bring my heart and my leadership in spite of not knowing what's coming. So I hope that gives you some comfort for any of you that are dealing with any feelings around anything in your life right now. That the unknown is a beautiful place to choose from. All we ever really get is choice in the present moment. So can you continue to be in the unknown and generate your values from there? So part of the reason I wanted to have a solo episode today is I wanted to invite you to consider 3 areas of growth that could be potentially impactful for you this year. And this is where I'm going to be focusing my year. So part of it is sharing my work out loud with you, but also inviting you and encouraging you to look on your side of the street for whatever resonates for you in this episode. So the first pillar that I've been thinking about for 2025 is redefining community through visionary leadership. So what that means to me is what is the new vision from here? I think as a creative and a visionary leader in the world, my mission and my vision remain the same and consistent every year, which is that all humans are seen and felt and heard, and that we all find a way to work together in harmony and love and peace. And that doesn't always happen right away in conflict, but that vision has been pretty solid. And I'm wondering if there's a moment in time right now to redefine what community looks like through that vision. Those of you that know me know that we launched and founded the C-Suite Collective 3 years ago. And part of the vision of the collective was to create a place where coaches could have community and not have to defend or make any of that right or wrong, but to simply be with the nuance and the differences in our collective. I love working with that team, and I think that it's expanded what's happening in the world as we grow. We're looking at working with organizations from the same way. And the community piece is what's really sticking out to me, is where are we creating community and where has community been lost for you? So that might be the first place to look is, do you have a community? And the community that you have, does it have diverse mindsets in it? And if it doesn't, what could you invite or get curious about expanding outside of your vision? So that doesn't mean that the visionary piece goes away. Your mission, your purpose, your values, those are all going to be pretty steady in the world. But outside of that, what could you get curious about that the collective or the community could potentially add to that vision or inspire in that vision? To me, this feels like expansiveness. It doesn't make my vision super focused and I use the collective to get my vision on track no matter what, but it becomes a collective vision that maybe had roots in a leadership vision to begin with. So that's the first pillar that I've been thinking about. And I really want to emphasize here that your personal leadership values being brought to a broader community can inspire collective growth and belonging outside of just you. The second pillar that I've been thinking about is embracing disruption to foster stronger connections. So I think in our society, at least in America, we're taught that conflict is bad. That could be my judgment and my opinion. If you are a person that has gotten over that hump and truly embraces conflict as healthy and good right now, I applaud you. I still find myself that even with all my training and all my bravery, there are still conflicts that I avoid because of the potential of heartbreak underneath it, or the potential to lose a relationship or to hurt someone. And so I really, for myself, am going to be looking this year at how can disruption on purpose foster and build stronger connections. And I really do mean deep, authentic connection where we can be in a conflict or a disagreement and still move towards each other instead of away. I look at this in my family. I mean, I've talked a lot about my family on this podcast before, and we all believe different things. And there can be moments where we're not okay with somebody's opinion in our family, and yet we've never moved away. There have been members of our family that have chosen that, but for the most part, most of our family has stayed together and moved towards even amongst our differences. And that's been a very big model in my life for what it could look like in love, to agree to disagree and still create in spite of, or still get together in community gatherings in spite of, or still even walk towards something that is intentional. When one of our family members is hurt or in distress, nothing matters about how we feel about each other. We all rally together. And again, I think that's a very privileged way of being and a lucky way of being. And it's something we choose and practice intentionally. And sometimes they're harder than others, depending on the topic or how deep the heartbreak might be in a belief system. So I'm really looking at disruption again as a new level for me to continue to walk towards people instead of away or shut out or hide my feelings or hide who I am, to then be safe in the world, which is never in service of the whole collective growing and us all reaching a higher conversation around spirit or love. The third pillar that I've been thinking about is building a community-centered leadership mindset for the new year. So really encouraging all of the leaders in my life, especially my colleagues, other coaches in the world, other trainers in the world, to look at the work that we do from community-centered leadership. We talk a lot about servant leadership in my profession, and I think that most people who enter as coaches or leaders or trainers are 100% on board for servant leadership. I don't know many people that enter my industry that are not aligned with that mindset. And it can be a very lonely profession if we're not developing community-centered leadership. So I'm curious what that will look like for me this year. I think it has already started in the C-Suite Collective, but I'm super curious about what it could mean for my clients and what they're building in the world, as well as myself. I noticed being new to LA, I'm still pretty hesitant to build community here or lean into the community. And a lot of that comes from my time context, or I'm too busy, or I'm too tired, or, all the norms of the human ailments that I have, and that I get locked in sometimes around the complaints or the overwhelm or the burnout. And yet there's still a deep desire to create community anywhere I go. I think that's one of the magical things about being human, is that no matter where you decide to land in the world or put roots down or where you come from, that community can shift a lot of your growth in real time. So I'm super interested in building more of a community in LA this year, but also continuing to nurture the communities that I have intentionally entered in a leadership mindset. What do leaders do in these communities when we all lead together instead of siloed leadership? So these are some of the things I've been thinking about this year already, and I'm excited to continue to update you on what transpires because of these thoughts, what I create this year. And I want to leave you with this intention or this thought as we move forward, is that everything can be about the present moment and who you choose to be in that present moment. And if we're all looking at that collectively, there's a chance for us all to have more consciousness, more love, and move into the next iteration of this world. Have a great 2025. If this conversation sparks something for you, let it move through your week. Take it with you. Take on one small action to move the ball forward. And if you want to join our community of leaders who are daring to lead with courage and heart, you can find that at www.elenaarmijo.com or www.thec-suitecollective.com. I reserve a small number of complimentary 20-minute sessions for leaders who want clarity on what they need and insight into what is getting in the way. The practical next steps that create real movement and results in your leadership journey. So you can schedule a call through the link below. It's in the description. Like, subscribe. Thank you for listening, for showing up, and for doing the work of being human together.